Do you want to be part of this video?
Okay.
Okay. Well, this one is about DADT, polyamory.
What's
Don't
that?
ask, don't tell.
Oh, yeah.
Poly. And why it sucks so hard. I think don't ask, don't tell polyamory has easily the worst reputation. Versus all the other kind of like ways you can structure your polyamory. Would you like me to basically run you through what it is?
Sure.
Great. You seem so... Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Oh my god. By the way, I'm Paula.
I'm Owen.
Oh yes, Owen is here. Not against his will. I think more so because the chair he's on, like as long as I'm sitting here, it's really hard for him to get out of the corner. So
we're also in a relationship.
Right. You know. Okay. Thanks for being here. So don't ask, don't tell is exactly what it sounds like. Ugh, it's just kind of like cringy. When we agree to be polyamorous, but like don't freaking tell me any details about what's going on in your other relationships. Mm-hmm. That's wild, yo. That's you. Anyone practicing this, you guys are the real wild children of the polyamory community.
Wild children.
Wow, you guys are risk taking. You guys are just like letting emotions go flying around the room and nobody is looking after them. Woo! I think that's why it gets a bad rap. Because it's basically saying we can acknowledge there's something needed emotionally in, say, our dynamic. We need to go outside of each other to quote unquote fix it, tend it, mend it, whatever. But don't do any reflecting back to me on your experiences. Yeah. So it's like closeting yourself in a corner, isolating yourself, and also growing. But only in the way that you want to grow.
Right.
No exposure to how your partner might also change. So it's just like a really control-centric way to experience polyamory. At least this is how I see it. This is why I think it gets a bad rap, because it's kind of like if you think about it for more than 10 minutes and you start to unravel the, what's the word? The implications behind what's driving you to live this way, gets a little funky, like real fast.
Why funky?
For all the reasons I just said. It's like so you want to grow, you want something different, but there's something in both of us, say if we did this lifestyle, this structure, that says, I don't trust myself to hear it though.
Or share it.
Yeah,
right.
Or share it. Oof. So I think the most important thing with polyamory specifically is that you talk a lot. It's communication on steroids, right?
I mean, it helps. It definitely lessens because if you imagine you're in a forest and you're trying to find your direction, it definitely helps when you have someone else to help guide you. Now, I get that what we're saying in this dynamic of don't ask, don't tell is you don't trust the other person, or the other person doesn't want to hear your shit. You're in a relationship, you're traveling a forest together, but whatever it is you're choosing to do, because you're involving a third party, they just don't want any part of it. So I get the mind space, because I've been with someone who didn't want to hear about the third party.
Are you talking about me?
I mean, you've said that before, and also briefly when Christine came to visit, she didn't want to hear about you.
Yeah.
So
let's go into nuances here.
All right.
Let's talk about the ways that this is not the same as parallel poly. And parallel poly is actually can be quite healthy.
Right.
So don't ask, don't tell is like literally say nothing. From what I understand, y'all got correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. This is what I understand about don't ask, don't tell. It's literally like, don't even tell me you're seeing somebody. Or maybe that's all you tell. That's it. Don't talk about your sexual experiences. Don't talk about the fact that you've had sex. Say freaking nothing. So when I hear that, I'm also like, okay, does that mean this person, like my partner, could be out one night and I am not able to know, is this a date? Are things getting really serious with this person that they might be seeing? Like, it makes no damn sense. Even from like a practical point where I'm just like, but how do you schedule your time? How do you have any semblance of like awareness about each other's lives? Parallel poly is not this. So parallel poly is actually like the style that I tend to prefer. I also want to throw out there though, you don't like pick your polyamory structure and then like you just live that one way forever. Let yourself like go in between. So there's like kitchen table where everyone wants to hang out with each other. There's lots of communication between everyone involved. You love that shit. I love parallel as my like main way of being, which is where I have my relationships. Everyone knows about them. Everyone knows like the big emotional incidences in them. So everyone's kind of like on the same page as to like who means what to me and what we're up to and when and where and all that stuff. But I don't give like a whole lot of details. And I definitely do not care if my metamors meet and know each other and are friends. I like really don't care if that never happens.
More than you don't care, you don't want that to happen. Like
Sometimes I just have this thing where I'm like, they wouldn't get along, so I don't know why would we even bother. It's so uncomfortable. So,
I mean,
you can though make some flexible decisions where it's like, you know, you are freaking obsessed with kitchen table style. So sometimes I have to be like, you know what? If my metamor and you really want to do it, I guess I just have to sit here and be friggin' uncomfortable.
And you were, so.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was great.
It was awful,
It was amazing. I loved
did it.
It was a good time. Learned a lot.
So much. So that's what I mean. Like you can flow between structures. You're not like bound to one thing. But parallel has more boundaries. So there's privacy in it for sure. There's like okay, you know what? I like my romantic relationships to be like my thing. Like to me, there's some element of romance that exists in the two people knowing. And that's it. I'm not a big sharesy person there. I don't want to do the analysis of like all of the little details. I want to just keep them, process them, keep them for me and the other person. So that's more parallel. But with parallel, you will know, as I said before, like who I'm with, when I'm with them, how things are progressing or not progressing. So it's just like, to me, it's perfect. It's like poly with boundaries.
Right.
The bestest ever.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but don't ask, don't tell is like, why not? I think that's like the underlying energy of don't ask, don't tell, and why it gets a bad rap is because everyone just wants to scream like, why not? What the fuck is so bad about asking and telling?
Well, I mean,
you know,
it's boundaries on steroids. It's people.
It's not boundaries though, because boundaries are porous and help people relate. These are walls.
Fine, this is walls.
Don't ask, don't tell feels like walls.
Yeah, and that's why, because people want their walls.
Yeah, so it's almost like energetically, everyone's like, eh. It just feels like, eh.
Stuck.
Yeah.
Stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, where's the danger? Where are we painting each other as so dangerous that we're gonna do something catastrophic if we ask or tell?
Well, I mean, I can, from just the conversations I've been in, I remember them mentioning that it was just, they didn't like hearing it, and granted, so it is similar in regards to you would say something similar, that equally in parallel, you don't want to hear it, you don't want to share it. Don't ask, don't tell is, I really don't want to hear it, anything. I don't even want to acknowledge the existence of it, but I will, I guess, acknowledge that it's happening.
Not even.
They won't even acknowledge it's happening.
You're not obligated to. And don't ask, don't tell, it's really like, don't ask me.
And maybe it's not happening.
Yeah.
But you acknowledge you're in a polyamorous relationship. You have to. Otherwise
you acknowledge that you got whatever status you've got, but you don't have to tell me you have a partner. You don't have to tell me when you're actively dating or not.
Right.
You literally don't ask.
Yeah.
And don't tell.
Right.
Crazy shit. So I want to ask you a question. Do you ever see a scenario in which don't ask, don't tell is actually beneficial?
I'm sure there is one. I'm just struggling to think.
Yeah,
of it.
like I'm like maybe for a really brief period of time while you're on like a break in your relationship.
Yeah.
But that to me is more like you're on a break in your relationship. Like when we're talking this as your structure.
Yeah.
Long term.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
It's gonna just keep exploding out at the seams. It'll be don't ask, don't tell successfully for like a while at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't see any scenario in which it wouldn't eventually explode and be like, okay, now we have to ask and tell.
Yeah.
Because shit's hit the fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if the person that anyone that you're seeing, they want to know what you're up to and how you're doing.
Well, it would just be, that's what I mean, it'd be like practical. It'd be like,
yeah.
Oh, can you come over tonight? No, I can't. I can't see you for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess if you're like really, you're either like, I don't know, the most self-assured person in the free world, or you must be a mess inside. I guess you could be super robotic about it. Is that judgmental to be like, okay, you're not available for 2 weeks? All right, let me know when you are. I guess so.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible. I guess that's really just some like emotional hurdles that I don't have.
Right.
You could do it. I suppose you could. It would feel to me kind of like you're dating a spy.
Sure.
Which could be sexy for someone, I'm sure.
Yeah. For sure.
They could be like, I could see them being kind of like your secondary metamor, just like a spy type of James Bondy, like, I don't really know this person, but like that's why it works. Like I could see it being like a fetish personality kink.
Okay, there you go.
But that's not really like a deep relationship.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. The more you have walls up, the less it's deep. Yeah,
so it would be more of like a fun. Short-term thing.
Yeah.
Could be playful.
Could be fun.
That's it.
There you go. Is that where we're ending this?
We're ending this. What do you guys think? I genuinely, like, if you guys have lived DADT for a long time, and it was actually genuinely good, like, hit me up. Yeah. I don't know any stories like that.
Put it in the comments!
Write it in the comments! Thank you for joining us. We will see you soon. Ooh.